let's talk about the real epidemic going on in society today, which is none other than escapism. Now, what I'm referring to that when I'm talking about escapism is the fact that people nowadays are so attached to the material world to the point where they're trying to escape the real natural world. That makes sense. So we see it in so many forms. We see it through virtually, online, social media, video games, all that stuff. That's a form of escapism. We can see it through forms of attaching yourself into people's lives, relationships, this and that, which is a form of escapism. You're trying to burrow yourself into someone else's life just because you can block out the real natural world. You can block out maybe the pain that you have to deal with, all that stuff. You can see it in drug use, alcohol use. You're trying to just drown out everything to escape the natural world, the real world that you've created for yourself. So, if you haven't picked up on this yet, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. You gotta clean your ears, clean your eyes, because this shit is real. This shit is as potent as it's ever gotten at this level right now, and it's only gonna get worse in my opinion. But people nowadays, I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm not saying you're bad, we're talking straight up, we're chopping it up on What the Fulati, because that's what we do here. People nowadays would rather create their own fantasies and try living in that to escape the true reality, the true nature of the world that's around them. Why? Because maybe their life fucking sucks. Maybe shit's not going their way. Maybe just they don't want to deal with or go face to face with their problems, because life isn't all about being happy. Life isn't all about being joyous all the time. Life isn't all about just being 100% in love with everything. It's a game. It goes up, it goes down, it goes left, it goes right, it goes backwards, it goes forwards. This is just the nature of reality. And escapism is trying to get you out of that to be able to live in some mumbo jumbo world that you've created in your own mind, that you've created in the virtual world, that you've created in through the use of these substances, whatever it is. And this is a never-ending cycle. You can never escape the truth. You can never try to makeshift a new reality, because at the end of the day, Mother Nature is undefeated. Undefeated. It is 100-0, infinity and 0. It's never taken a loss, and it's not gonna take a loss, especially to you, motherfucker. Yes, I'm talking to you. You ain't got the sauce like that. You do not got the sauce like that to beat Mother Nature. But with that said, when you start realizing that maybe you're doing it, because most of us are, majority of us are, I would say 99.9% of us are, I am to some form of extent, you have to try decreasing it, you have to try limiting it, you have to start immersing yourself back into the real world. Your problems are going to be there waiting for you. Your demons are going to be there waiting for you. And all these things shouldn't scare you. Rather, it should pose as a challenge. And I'm just guessing that the people watching this, especially my second channel, the low-key channel, are a bunch of dudes that watch my stuff, my main channel stuff, found this. You already know the deal. You got to take challenges on, like, you got to just take them on. You can't be pussyfooting around. You can't be trying to escape from them, because you should enjoy competition. And I've said before, I'm going to keep saying it, at the end of the day, it is you versus you in this world that we live in today. There's competition going on with everything else, and it's good to compete in a healthy manner with others, because that's just the nature of capitalism, let's say that. But on a very deep mental and spiritual level, it is only you versus you, and you should take that competition to heart. You should relish in that opportunity, so when the universe throws you problems at your way, you don't go into the shell. You don't hide away from it. You don't back away from it and just drown it out, try to numb it away, try to just escape from it through all these forms, because the world, society today is only going to give you more and more forms of escaping the true nature of reality. Why? Because they want you plugged in, tapped into another one that serves their need. When you're drowning yourself in alcohol and drugs, you're making them some money. You're probably shitting your life away, so it's gonna help them out. If you're just focusing on trying to get laid, trying to get relationships and all this stuff like that, you're playing into their part because you're trying to escape, trying to put on all that problem into somebody else. Hopefully they can fix it. You know, like, so Lily, what's up, Lily? Maybe you got a dog. Dogs ain't gonna help you escape. They're rather gonna help you bring you back into the field, bring you back into the flesh. So maybe you should get a dog. But back to what I was saying is, yeah, you gotta realize these things, because the more aware you are, the more it's gonna be tough to handle. It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. Like I've said before, the truth shall set you free, but will piss you off at first. Will get you mad at first. Will get you anxious at first. And maybe this is getting you anxious. Maybe this is getting you mad. Maybe this is because you're realizing that yes, escapism is real. This is the real epidemic in the world going on today. And not too many people are talking about it. But that's what I do. I chop up the real game, chop up the real truth, because I see it. I've gone through it. But like I said, when you're really aware of it and it starts pissing you off, the only way out of it is to address it. Because if it starts pissing you off, it's easy to just go start escaping again, start drowning out again. And the more you do that, the higher tolerance you build up, the more stuff you got to do to escape, because your brain is trying to signal to you, hey man, shit is fucked up, get your stuff together. And every time you start drowning it, that voice is gonna get louder and louder and start whining, start screaming, and you're gonna get in that point where your whole life is just a form of escapism. This is some real shit, because it's an easy path to go down, because all these forms of escapism is giving you a sense of pleasure, giving you a hit of dopamine, and just giving you a false sense of comfort. You're not gonna get to the point in life that you want to get at operating at this state. You got to take on challenges. You got to take things on the chin. You got to get messed up by life. You got to get crashed on by the waves, bro. Like, it's a part of the game. And the people that do that, you can see that they escape from escapism. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I hope you are, because that's some real stuff. So when you get to that point of taking this into account, realizing what forms of escapism that you're stuck in, you got to start cutting it out. Like I said, you got to cut the dead weight in order to elevate. Elevation requires isolation. And maybe isolation is a form of escapism for you. Like, there's so many forms, there's so many comfortable ways to go about life that just disconnects you from the real world. And this is just gonna be a huge detriment to your life. And it's, at some point, it's gonna act like a disease. And if you don't get the cure sooner than later, you might just be a lost cause, man. You seriously might be a lost cause. So hopefully this video gets out to you. Hopefully you start connecting some of the dots, because the more you go about it, the deeper of the hole you dig for yourself, and the harder it's going to get out of it. But if you catch it, you nip it in the bud quicker than letting it just marinate, settle, keep sinking you deeper and deeper, the better, bro. It's not going to be easy, especially in the world we live in today, especially the way the world is going in the future. But you got to, man. This is the true epidemic going on in the world today, escapism. take this into account. Take everything what I said, let it sit, let it marinate, food for thought, because that's what we do here. What the Fulani out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these gains. And I'm out of here. Peace.